Hello, guys. Welcome back. If you don't know me, my name is Amsa and I'm an IELTS trainer, and I have experience training students for more than 5 years on both IELTS and on PT. I'm just trying to check if you guys can hear me. Also, let me know in the comments below if you can hear me. So once you guys let me know, I think I will go ahead and start. So I'll wait for a few more minutes for you guys to confirm. I have my phone right here to check the chats, and at the same time I hope that the video is clear for you guys, so you can ask me any doubts if you have one. I'm gonna quickly wait for you to let me know. All right, great. Very good evening, and I'm so excited to be meeting all of you through Unacademy. If you don't know me, my name is Amsa Venktesan, and I am an IELTS and PT trainer, and I have experience training over 750 students in the past 5 years, which is close to 22,500 plus online hours of training students. My students love learning with me because I make learning a breeze by giving you real practical examples, and I will let you know how to understand and break down every single task for you into tiny actionable steps, so you know that every single step is easy to follow and you know how to take it through. Today, we're going to be talking all about IELTS General Writing section, which is exactly the task one. And I'm going to take you through this session and let you know how you can ace this task like a pro. I know that a lot of students are looking for help, especially with writing. I know it could be both academic writing, it could be general writing, but I know a lot of you, have asked me in the past as well as to how you could do the writing section in the general and both the academic task. So here I'm going to help you with the general writing task, especially task one here in this session. And if you're looking for more help, please feel free to reach out to me, and you can purchase my subscription on Unacademy Plus. And for those of you who are here and who are ready already and who are ready to be staying with me through the end of this video, I'm going to give you a surprise gift which I'll let you know. So let's understand what we will cover in today's session. In today's session, we're going to be covering all about understanding the writing task step by step in detail. You will also understand how the task is scored, because I know that scoring and learning the metrics plays a crucial role, so you understand what you might have to write in every single step, because you should understand what the examiner is looking for, and that's exactly why I'm here to help you out with this task, and I'm so excited to be doing this. Once you understand the scoring metric, and there are some crucial terms that you might have to know, you might as well think, oh, what these terms even mean? What are these even talking about? When you are, when things are spinning around and you're trying to be like, oh, this is one big cloud that is all like black clouds, and I have no clue where there is a way. I'm here to again tell you what the scoring metric is, break these down, like I said, into tiny baby steps, so you should be ready to make notes as and when we go. Once you understand the scoring metric, we're also going to do one sample letter, which you might have probably seen, and I'm going to do one updated letter question. Once we see the question, I'm also going to help you understand certain useful points that you could consider when you're doing the question. So I'm doing a reverse strategy here, where you see the question and then I tell you how you could break it down into step-by-step points where you understand what the examiner actually wants from there, and you can take it forward and do these step by step. When we do these step by step, you will also know the kind of answers that the questioner might expect, and how you could break these down and do the answers in the exact possible way. And at the same time, you will also understand the do's and don'ts while drafting your answers. So when we do a practice question, or when you are ready to purchase a subscription and you sit with me in the actual class, we will do questions in a timely manner, and at the same time I will break these down again for you right there. So you will have direct access to me, one-on-one access in the Plus subscription. So I would highly recommend you to purchase it if you like my classes here. And once we evaluate these answers, especially the one that I'm telling you, we will also get into understanding 11 amazing tips that I will give you for you to understand this particular task. Right after this, like I said, you will have one practice question. And again, I'm telling you, I have a surprise gift for all my subscribers who stays here in this video till the end of the video. I'm gonna quickly go back and close this thing so that stays right out of the way. All right, so now going back to this. Okay, so let me tell you, we asked a lot of our students. I have experienced freelancing. I have worked with different companies, different study abroad agencies. I have freelanced for, about 5 years now, and I've also worked with them. And right now, with my collaboration with Unacademy, well, I got to talk to a lot of my students earlier, and I still get to talk to a lot of my amazing students. So the best part here is the student that I taught, right, when I started my career is still with me, is still here with me when they have certain doubts. I'm more of, a friend to my students. I'm more of a guide to my students rather than just being an IELTS or a PT tutor. And they just love interacting with me. So when I was talking to my students, after the class one single day, I asked them this question. Well, hey guys, so I just asked them casually, guys, can you help me understand which is the most difficult task out of all the tasks in the IELTS, both academic and general writing tests? So my question was, can you just let me know which of the tasks, or is there one particular task, or are there many tasks that you find difficult, especially, in the IELTS general and the academic test? And you will not believe, but there was an unanimous answer that they gave out, and they told me that the writing task seemed to be very difficult for these students. And I wouldn't say that shocked me, but that was an interesting answer which I received from my students, because I generally thought, I've been thinking that the reading task was, on top for my students in terms of the difficulty level, and probably the writing was second. But when they told me that the writing was on top, in terms of the difficulty level, and they might need more help to crack the writing test. This was even before we started, working on the writing test and all that, the writing task and all that. So this answer, in fact, surprised me, and I was really interested in knowing more. So right now, for me, the point here is to really ask you guys, if this task is really a challenge, I would say you might not find this task a challenge when you know what the examination is looking for, what the examiners are looking at, the scoring criteria, and follow my tips. I would recommend taking a screenshot of the tips that I'm giving you, even if you're here in the free session. Just take a screenshot or make quick notes of these, and then put it, right where where your table is. You can just sit in your office table, your study table. Just take notes. Just put it right next to you, and let me know if you're able to, relate the answers that you're trying to do. When you have step-by-step solutions or step-by-step understanding of how it does, I literally spoon feed my students when I'm trying to teach them something new, because I let them adapt to my style and I tell them how it has to be done exactly. All right, so let me know your thoughts about the writing task. You could be a student opting for academic, or you could be opting for general test. Both are fine, but I just want you to let me know, why exactly is the writing task a challenge for you guys? If you find it a challenge, if you find it challenging, let me know why you think it's challenging. Or if you think it's not, well, it's kind of easy to crack, and you might not find it really difficult. Also, let me know what other tasks do you think you need help with, because my journey with Unacademy and with you guys is going to be where I'm here to basically help you guys out step by step, and that's exactly what I'm trying to say. When you sit with me in class, I'm going to give you step by step strategies and tips and tricks that will help you ace IELTS like a pro. You could be a student opting for academic or general, no matter what, you will love IELTS once you sit with me and once you sit through my sessions. All right? So don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the writing task. Now, let me take you through understanding the task quickly, because once you understand what this task is all about, I'm sure you're not going to have any more hurdles acing this task. All right, you will have to ace this task by the end of this 30 minutes session. All right, so one thing you have to understand, we generally say that but people say that even if somebody wakes you up from sleep, you're supposed to let them know what things are about, and that's how you have to learn. So I would say that even if somebody asks you, just like that randomly, even when you're at workplace, because people do IELTS, the general training for work, and so you have to let them know. When they ask you like this, tell them what this task is all about. You have to have the capability to let them know in a layman's term. And when you've understood and when you're able to let people know in layman's terms, I would say that's when you've really understood it well. So I would say in layman's terms, for you to understand in a simple way, I would say this task basically is a letter writing task. And what will you do in this letter? You request some information or you explain a situation. That's like the basic understanding. You do have certain different types of letters that we will go through in this particular task. But right now, for you to understand what this is all about, it's basically where you respond to a given problem in the form of a letter or with a letter writing, and you basically request some information or you explain a situation and things like that. So this is all about the task requirement. And now, how long is this? Do you think you can take forever to do this? No. You basically have 20 minutes to crack this particular task. So now I know that there'll be a question that might get triggered, where you could be like, hey Hamsa, can you let me know how I can practice with the time? Having the time, the stop clock. If you are asking me how you can actually prepare, that's exactly what we will do in the plus session. So we will go through again step by step and some more advanced strategies that only plus students get once you subscribe to my plus subscription. I will give you a few more tips and tricks where you can ace this task much more in detail than what you're learning here. And also, I will sit with you directly one-on-one on sessions as well, where you can ask me questions through chat, through polls. You can post questions, you can write to me, and I will answer questions for you directly. That's exactly what we do. And in this 20 minutes, I will teach you how you can plan your answers, how you can write it down, how you can get this all done, check your word count, everything in under 20 minutes, so you have enough time and you don't miss out on writing this. And remember, you have to write at least 150 words, because you will be penalized for under word count. So you have to write at least 150 words, all right? Now you have to understand what is being assessed when you do this test. When you do this test, you are assessed of your ability to engage in personal correspondence. How well are you able to communicate with a person one-on-one? In case you write a letter, you're requesting to a principal or to an airport authority. So how well are you able to correspond with them personally was one thing. Secondly, you will ask them, you will be assessed on giving them, on eliciting and providing general factual information. If there are facts that you might have to talk about, how well are you integrating with your answers? How do you express any needs, any wants, likes and dislikes, if there are any? How do you express opinions? It could be a very harsh opinion that you're trying to talk about. It could be something that you have not liked. It could be something that you've hated, which is a strong word, or something that was really not the way you thought, something was not clean. How do you not you should not be arrogant, or that's a harsh word, I would say. You cannot show them the dislike just like that on their face. Instead, how are you subtle? How will you be able to put all of these together and write a letter that is phenomenal? All right, so that is something that's that people look for in this particular task. Now, you have to understand how this particular task is being scored. Now that you've understood all about the understanding and basics of what this task is all about, you have to now understand how this task is being scored, right? If you don't understand how it is scored, I think you might not be able to really relate it to what you're writing. You might have amazing language, you might have amazing grammatical skills, you could use amazing vocabulary, fantastic, you could have beautiful, the way in which you write could be beautiful, but remember, if you don't put together the scoring metric that's required with all the answers that you're trying to do, I don't think it will blend in well. So for it to blend in well, you have to understand that there's something called writing band descriptors that you need to understand. These band descriptors will let you know how your answers should differ, what are a few points that you could add here and there for your answers to range between 7 to 9. And that's exactly what we are trying to understand. So here, overall, if you see this particular image, you might think, oh, this is kind of too much for me to understand, or you might as well think, I really don't understand how to, read these or go through these. Well, I'm going to help you with that step by step. And again, I'm going to break these down into tiny steps or tiny sentences where you understand what these are all about. But for now, from this slide, you have to understand that there are 4 different band descriptors, which is the first one being the task achievement, second is the coherence and cohesion, third being the lexical resource, and fourth being grammatical range and accuracy. These are 4 things that you might have to learn, and you could take a screenshot of this. And again, I'm going to take you through all of this in my Plus classes. So for now, I'm going to break all of these going forward. Like I said, the first thing, which is the task achievement, is all about where the examiner will check for information, overview, detail, and accuracy. They will basically check what are the types of information that you've included, whether you have the ability to give a beautiful overview, a coherent overview from the question, if you're able to bring in more details, and if you're able to write accurately. This is all about the task achievement. How well are you able to achieve all these 4 information that's given in the question is something that they're going to give you. Now, you could ask me, you're telling me that I need to put all these things down beautifully, but now can you also tell me how I could improve my scores here? That's a fantastic question in case you have that question. Now, you have the options, the following options to increase your scores. I can say that you have to identify all key features here. You have to include all key features here by analyzing the chart, or it could be not just the chart necessarily. This could sound more like you could ask me, this is more for academic, but the improvisation of scores look similar for both general and academic. When I say you analyze the chart, you basically analyze the letter here, or you analyze your essay when you're trying to write your essay. And when you're doing academic, you have to take a deeper look at what the chart is all about, and then you go forward with that. You highlight all key features given in the question. Now, if you ask me how you understand what those key features are, again, I'll do that. I'll dig deeper into that in my Plus sessions. You have to include the required data to support all the answers in the body paragraphs. Remember, if you have data, remember you have to support this with data. You should also remember to not add any misleading information, because that is going to ruin the answers that you're trying to write. If the answers are misleading, the examiner might, have a question as to where in the question is this all about. It might not be given in the question, but if you're trying to give some misleading information, it becomes wrong. All right? It becomes incorrect. And your ability to avoid personal opinions, if they have not asked, most of the times they might not ask your personal opinions when you do the general writing task 1 in your letter. But if they have asked, please do it. If not, don't do it. Again, your ability to write factual reports and write at least 150 words. Like I said, there is a penalty for underword count. Now, let's talk about the second scoring metric, which is the coherence and cohesion. If you're trying to ask me, this looks Greek and Latin to me, well, it's as simple as this. They will check for your ability to organize information to create paragraphs that are relative, and to use linking devices. It's as simple as that. How well are you able to organize information? If you take alphabets, you should go from A to Z. That's how we write. We do not put P, Q, and all that, in between. It has an order. How well are you able to put things in order as per the question? How well are you able to draft these information? How well are you able to paraphrase things? You cannot include paragraphs that has to be in the second or the third paragraph in your introduction. Introduction is meant to give an overview, or introduction is meant to give is meant to introduce yourself or introduce about whatever they've asked in the letter. So how well are you able to organize information? How well are you able to link things that are required is what they look for: coherence and cohesion. Then they also ask you how you could increase your score here. If you ask me how you can increase your score here, I will say you can increase your score by planning where you could actually put your information, by having structured paragraphs, by using a range of linking words, and by using references where you say this, that, here, there. You basically write a sentence and you're able to link to that sentence in the right way, right? Now, talking about lexical resources, if you've never heard of this before, in case, I'll tell you, they will check your ability to, they will check basically your ability at how you can use vocabulary, how cool are your spellings, how clear are your spellings, and based on the number of mistakes that you're committing. All right. And here you can increase your scores by writing the right, by choosing and, relating it to the right vocabulary list, by taking a range of vocabulary. Do not say smart, 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 smart everywhere. That's not how it works. Instead, you can say, you can use words like beautiful, phenomenal, depending on how the essay is structured. Smart, intelligent, words like that, right? So basically, we find different vocabularies. We just take a list of vocabularies. Again, I will help you with different vocabularies in my class session, so you can just, feel free to understand that as well. And then you have to remember to avoid spelling mistakes when you're doing your test, again, because you will be penalized for the same. And you have to remember to use the right language when you're doing that. Now, going forward with the grammatical range and accuracy, again, I'm sure that this by itself is self-explanatory. When I say grammatical range, how well are you able to structure your sentences? How is your tense? If you're starting with past tense, are you able to continue in past tense? Do you have a question that you want to give them? Or are you writing this entire thing in present tense? If so, are you able to continue this in present tense, and so forth? Also, checking your control on grammar. In case, you start with past tense, you end it with future tense, might not make sense. And the number of mistakes that you're committing. To increase your score here, remember to, as simple as that, remember to use the right tense as per the question. Again, that's a small tip here. You can use a range of sentence structures. You can range from, easy, the easy, difficulty to the medium difficulty to complex sentences. You could use variety of conjunctions to do it. And at the same time, you have to remember to avoid sentence errors if there are any. And all this comes with practice. And that's something that we will do in our sessions. Now, for you to understand better, you have to remember that there are 7 common letter types. Just in case you do not know, there are 7 common letter types that you might have to understand when you're doing, your letter writing. There is a request letter that you might write. You might get any of these, right? So there is a request letter, a letter of complaint where you complain about some facility or a person or something like that. You write an apology to somebody. You write a letter of explanation saying why you were not able to attend somebody's wedding, or why you had to cancel the flight, due to a delay. And you basically invite somebody to, a party at your place, or, any other festival that you celebrate. Also, a letter to make an arrangement in case you're, moving to a place where one of your, your brother or sister lives, and you just want, you request your friend or your brother or sister to make an accommodation or arrangement for you. Also, an application or a resignation letter to an employer. You to understand how we could do this. So here is the question. You are a student at a language school in New Zealand studying business English. Part of the course is a summer work placement program. Unfortunately, you have just learned from the school that this program has now been cancelled. Write a letter to the school principal. In your letter, state your reason for writing, describe the problem and your concerns, and explain what you would like the principal to do. So the question is very clear. You are studying business English and you have applied to a work placement program, and you have to remember that the program is now being cancelled. You have three questions in the question to be addressed, three sub questions in the question to be addressed. The first question being you have to state your reason for writing, describe. Before we get into writing this answer slide, and feel free to use this, all right? Has to be formal. Also, you have to remember to decide on your paragraphs, where the first paragraph would be an introductory paragraph. Also, include the reason for your writing, which is more like your introductory paragraph, right? And in the second paragraph, you describe the reason of why you opted for the course, or any problems and concerns that you have. And in the second body paragraph, so first is the introduction and then the first body paragraph, second body paragraph, let the principal know what you would want them to do. All right. Conclude with a common ending statement where you let them know, I look forward to hearing from you soon, and sign off. All right. If there is no name given in the question, do not write a name. Just say, dear sir, hello sir, or madam, and then go ahead. Okay, so these are a few things for you to consider, and remember, you should have the ability to write this in a well-structured manner. Here is a sample answer. I just want you to take a look into the sample answer, and in my session when you sit with me, we will do some sample answers, but here I just want to let you know how words are used and how you can organize your sentences as well. Here it starts. Dear sir, I'm writing this letter to express my deep disappointment. Here's a vocabulary that you can take. My deep disappointment with the news that the work placement program has been cancelled this summer. One of the main reasons I chose to study business English at your school in July and August, these are, additional information that you're writing, was a chance to participate in the work placement program. There are many English schools in California that offers business English, but not many who offer the chance to go to work in a local company as a part of the course program. Your school is more expensive than the competition, but I was happy to pay extra because I thought the course program was better quality. Now, however, I'm very unhappy because I have spent a lot of money and I'm not getting the course I want. So here you are letting them know, as per the question, where you're describing the problem and your concerns. Your concern here is that the problem is that it has been cancelled. Your concern is that although it has been expensive, I was still ready to pay here because not many companies offer this opportunity of this work placement program. But although it was extra cost, I was still fine to the payment. Even if you were more expensive than the competition. But now I'm again unhappy because although I spent a lot of money, I have still not, got the course or been enrolled into the course that I want to really, study. Now you're concluding with this second body paragraph. This is your intro, first body, second body. With the second body paragraph, now you're letting the principal know as per the question as to what you want them to do. Now you're saying, as the course program is now very different from the one advertised, I would like to request a full refund of the money I've paid for this course. I will try to contact other schools in California or maybe New York which run English business courses and can guarantee a work placement as part of this course. Now you're letting them know in simple terms that you want to request a full refund for of the money that you have paid for this course. Also, you're letting them know that you will try to contact other schools locally, right? And you're saying, I look forward to receiving your reply, yours sincerely, and you could just sign off. And this is how the the letter goes. Follow the same structure because you have to remember to add your introduction, which is this, what you're writing for. Tell them the first question asked here and then the second paragraph and sign off. All right. Now, To ace your task, I'm going to give you quick, amazing tips here where you have to plan before you write. Point number one. Point number two is you can use the given name in the question in case they've given. If not, you can say Dear XYZ in case they've given, or Hello XYZ, or just say Dear Sir or Madam. All right. And then you start by greeting people in the introduction. Here you could say, I'm writing this letter here because you're deeply disappointed, but it's not necessary most of the times. Or if it's a friend, you can ask them how they are doing and you can do the greeting. Then the point number four is where you learn to make paragraphs, because like I said, it'll help you organize them in a organize them as required. Always remember to complete your answer and your sentences. If you're leaving your sentence halfway, you will be penalized for it. All right. Remember to check your spelling, your grammar, and most importantly, the punctuations. All right. You should also avoid any connecting words if not required, if it's in an informal scenario. Remember, you could include your opinions if they've asked you for. If not, do not waste your time writing extra information. Again, you could be penalized. You have to learn to manage your time, and again, I'm going to help you with timed questions when you join my Plus platform. And you have to remember to familiarize yourself with the common topics as per the official guide. And here again, I've given you 7 common topics. If you remember, we have already taken into consideration. We will be working on questions from most of these topics, and again, we will practice questions from the official guide as required in our Plus sessions. Now, I have a practice question for you here. Feel free to screenshot this question if required. Last week, you were on a flight to London. Unfortunately, when you left the plane, you left a bag. You did not remember about the bag until you got to your hotel. Write a letter to the airline, explain what has happened, describe the bag and its contents, and say what you would like them to do about it. This is more like the previous question that we have done. It pretty much relates to it, and that's the reason I've given you, although the situation is a little different. Remember to write at least 150 words. Again, under word count will be penalized, so remember to write at least 150. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. You need not write your own address again. All right. So if you really enjoyed this video, I would recommend you to subscribe to our channel, to subscribe to Unacademy Live on YouTube, Unacademy Plus. And again, like I said, for all of you, all my amazing subscribers and people who have stayed here, I'm giving you a 10% off on all the subscriptions that you could purchase. I would recommend purchasing a 12-month subscription at $1,125 per month. And what do you get? You get unlimited access, you get flexible timetable as required, you can watch recordings offline, you have EMI options available, and you get direct access to me where you can ask me questions, you can submit answers, and we can have live interaction, and you can watch every single tip, trick, strategy, and questions video that I will post there. You will have at least 1 hour sessions there, and I will give you access to more premium materials, more premium tips and tricks. And feel free to test out the subscription and subscribe. I hope this session was helpful. Thank you.